Hello, all you big, beautiful brains out there. Today, we're talking about one of my heroines from right here in South Texas, Dr. Inez Beverly Prosser. Before we get started, take a minute to subscribe to Psy vs. Psy. Help out your friendly neighborhood psychologist while I tell you all about Inez Beverly Prosser. Frequent viewers to our channel know that one of my special interests is women in psychology, specifically women who were earning degrees in psychology very early in the field, when it was much more difficult to be a woman in a STEM area. Today, I get to talk about another of these amazing women, Dr. Inez Beverly Prosser. First, let's go over a little bit about who she was, then we'll cover the lasting contributions Dr. Prosser made to psychology. Born the second of 11 children in the 1890s, it's clear that young Inez Beverly had a passion for education. It's likely that her parents either shared that passion or were hugely supportive, because though the family moved several times, those moves coincided with opportunities for young Inez Beverly and her older brother to attend better schools. She was valedictorian in her high school in 1910. And a biography written about Prosser's life from the 1990s claims that her parents had only saved enough to send one child to college and intended it to be her older brother, but instead agreed that Inez Beverly should go instead. She was so grateful that she started a college savings fund that paid for 6 more of her brothers and sisters to go to college too. She loved education so much that her first higher education degree was a teaching certificate from Prairie View Normal College, now called Prairie View A&M, where she graduated valedictorian. The next part of her life must have been so incredibly busy, but rewarding. Teaching at schools here in South Texas before taking a job as a vice principal. It was also during this time that she met and married Alan Prosser in 1916. Just a few years later, she completed her BA, then went on to get a master's in educational psychology. In 1927, she joined the faculty at Tillotson College in Austin. Just a few years later, she accepted a joint faculty administration position at Tougaloo College in Mississippi, where she received a monetary award that made it possible for her to attend the University of Cincinnati, where she was finally able to finish her dissertation and get her PhD in June of 1933. Dr. Prosser's dissertation covered the topic that most fascinated her, and what still makes her a famous name in psychology today: the social and psychological adjustments of African American children in urban schools. In her dissertation, Prosser found that children's experiences were shaped by factors such as poverty, limited educational resources, and racial discrimination. Even though the language and terminology we use has changed over the years, all of these areas are still major fields of study today, likely in large part due to her initial work. Her study remains an important contribution to our understanding of the experiences of students of color and the impact of these experiences on their academic achievement. In recent years, there has been an increased attention to the effects of racial trauma and discrimination on the mental health and well-being of children, and many researchers are exploring the ways to support and empower kids. This research continues to be important for improving the educational experiences and outcomes of all children, particularly in the BIPOC community, as well as promoting overall health and well-being. Dr. Prosser's work was heavily influential in Brown versus the Board of Education in 1954, the pivotal Supreme Court case that made it illegal to mandatorily segregate based on race in U.S. public schools. Her dissertation explored the complexities between voluntary and mandatory segregation and the impact on children's personalities. Unfortunately, Dr. Prosser never got to see just how important and impressive her work was. She passed in a vehicle accident in 1934, just a year after completing her PhD. She was laid to rest here in San Antonio. Prosser has inspired future generations of psychologists and educators, particularly women, to pursue careers in these fields and work towards creating a more just and equitable society. She is remembered as a trailblazer in the field of psychology and as an advocate for the education and well-being of all children. If you want to know more about the unsung heroes of psychology, subscribe so you can get all of our other videos and you can learn all about the science of psychology. Until next time, keep thinking, and I'll see y'all later. Bye! So Dr. Prosser paid for all of her brothers and sisters to go to college. I haven't even finished paying for my own college yet. Loans.